Hey Bonita gang, welcome back to my channel. And if you're new here, don't forget to click that subscribe button and hit the notification bell for every time I upload some new content. And today we're doing another story time video. Is it the first one of the year? Yeah, I ain't do that many videos this year yet. It's the first story time of the year. So this is actually my second time filming this video. So on Twitter, I have responded to this post to one of my followers because you said something about Virgos not being toxic, and I was like, yeah, Virgos are definitely toxic. And I had dropped the link to the story time of when my boyfriend had a fiance. If you haven't, what's going on with my hair? One of my lock jewelries is stuck to my lock. Not with me having to cut a lock jewelry out my lock. But anyway, what was I saying? Oh, so yeah, so I responded to this girl about how Virgos are toxic because the guy that had the fiance was a Virgo. So I dropped the story time and she said, wow, that's crazy. Like, is there more tea to it? Yada, yada, yada. And I was like, yeah, I actually left out a lot, and I've been thinking about doing a part 2 for a while, but I just didn't think like mentally I was ready to tell the second part of the story. And so yeah, I told her that I might do it. And then like literally 2 hours ago, one of my customers that had just purchased from me, she was a first-time customer. Shout out to you, girl, if you watching this video. Yes, ma'am. Thank you for this information. But she had ordered from me, and I shipped out her products. What's today? Friday. I shipped out her products either yesterday or the day before, and she just got them today, and she was telling me how good they smell, and that she had. I'm gonna probably leave some of the receipts on the screen. Of course, I'm going to blur her name out or crop her name out and blur out the guy's name for privacy reasons. Because you guys know, anytime I do a storytime video, I don't use real people's names. But she was like, yeah, I was just telling one of my friends about you and showed her your page. And she was like, oh, that's what you call an ex. And this said girl that I'm speaking to is also his ex. And I was just like, this is a very, very, very small world. So if you haven't watched that storytime video, none of this will make sense. So I highly suggest that you go watch the first part of this video. Like I said, I will be leaving some receipts on the screen, blurring out some information because none of that stuff matters. So to piggyback on the first video, what the fuck did I call him? Okay, so we had called him Rob. So, in the first part of the video, I believe the only thing I told you guys was that when the fiance called me, we just basically had a conversation. Oh, and I also said that she told me some personal stuff that I wasn't going to talk about, but I feel like that is pretty much relevant to what I'm about to say. So, when me and her had a conversation, and I told her that we were actively trying to have a child, she told me that that's crazy how he's going around trying to impregnate multiple women. Yes, he was still fucking around multiple women, while he was still engaged and possibly when he was with me. But she was saying that it's crazy how he was going around like trying to have children with other women, and she had stillbirthed. I want to say earlier that year or the year prior. And when she told me that, I felt really sad for her. Like, I didn't feel too bad for myself that he had, like cheated on me per se, but I also felt bad because it's just like, damn, I don't even want to tell her like I missed my period or my period's late, because at that point I was probably like a month or so late, or close to a month late on my period. So after me and her got off the phone, the next day she called me, and I think I said this in the last video, that she had asked me if I had any of his stuff or if I brought him anything, because she was gonna burn everything. And I was like, nah, I ain't buy him shit, and if I did, it was probably at my house, so you ain't gotta worry about it. So that same day I had scheduled an appointment to go to the hospital to go get checked out. I wanted to make sure I didn't have any STDs or anything like that because of what she told me, and I also wanted to double check that I was not pregnant, because like I said, I was like a month late. Now typically with my periods, I have 11 to 13 periods a year, and I just thought maybe this month I was just missing my period. And I also took a pregnancy test that said it was negative, but it was also a very, very faint second line. So I wanted to just double check and take a blood test. So when I got to the hospital, they took my urine sample, they did a vaginal swab, and as they were doing like a vaginal swab, I started bleeding. So I just assumed that my period was coming on. That's literally all I assumed. But it wasn't like spotting, it was like a flow, like a very, very heavy flow, and I typically don't flow heavy when I'm about to come on, and I was in a lot of pain. I usually don't feel cramps until the next day if I am about to start my period. These cramps were like, I don't even know, like I guess they were like a contraction type of pain, but I've never been pregnant before, so it was just like 10 times worse than like regular menstrual cramps. So as I'm like cramping at like shit, they basically grabbed like an ultrasound machine thing and just did like a quick little ultrasound on me, and basically they saw a fetus. They basically saw a fetus, and they told me that I may be actively having a miscarriage. So basically all they did was just they had me laying on a hospital bed, and they was just trying to see like what was going to happen, and then basically maybe about 20, maybe 15 minutes later, my child came out. So I had a miscarriage, so I was pregnant. They told me by the looks of the fetus, it was no more than like a month old or so. So yeah, I did miscarry. I was pregnant and I did miscarry. And I didn't tell a lot of people that part of the story because I don't know, I never did. I wouldn't say I was happy that I had a miscarriage, because we were actively having a child. I am happy that I did not have a child with him, but my child would have been almost 2 years old now. So yeah. So after I had the miscarriage, they basically helped me cleaned up and everything. By the time all that had happened, a few of my STD tests had came in, all negative, but in the urine they saw that I had a very, very, very bad yeast infection that could have like really messed up my kidneys, and that could have offset the miscarriage. I'm not too sure, but the yeast infection was very bad. So that got cleared up probably after a few weeks of me being on medication, and I had to go back to, you know, do another ultrasound to make sure everything was good on my insides and everything like that. So after my whole miscarriage thing, I never spoke to the fiance again, and I never spoke to Rob again. So fast forward until a couple hours ago, the customer that I had, she basically messaged me to tell me that she had received her package and that everything smelled good and everything like that. And then she was telling me how she had showed my profile to one of her friends or her sister or something. I'm gonna leave screenshots on the screen. And that the person told her that I was her ex's ex as well. And I'm thinking, an ex, I don't have too many exes because I don't have too many boyfriends. So it was either my current bae, and I was going, he was the one that had to throw some hands, because if you telling me that you was fucking bae when I was fucking bae, he was going to get them hands, not her. He was going to get them hands. But then she said Rob's name, and I was just like, this world is too small. Say psych. Say psych. And it's so crazy because, like, I was, like, literally in the middle of editing the first video that I recorded for the second part, which is me just basically telling you guys what I just experienced with my miscarriage. And I'm just like, no. So, like, she's telling me the whole timeline about when they started dating. So I'm guessing it had to been a year or so after me and him were dating, per se, because she said it happened 2 years ago, and me and his situation happened almost 3 years ago. So she's telling me basically the same thing that he told me, that all his exes cheated on him and blase, and the situation that they had went through. And I was just like, that is some messy ass shit. Messy as hell. And so somehow we had brought up his ex-wife, and that was literally the only ex that I remember, and plus one other person that I knew that went to my high school as well. And why is this man still legally married to this woman? And this is his high school sweetheart. This is I knew her. I definitely knew her in high school. And it's just like, you're legally married. You are engaged to this woman that confronted me. But yet you're out here fucking other women. Now, if I didn't tell y'all he was a Virgo, would y'all guess that he was a Virgo? Or what zodiac sign y'all think he would be? Comment it down in the comment section, because I want to know. But it's just like, and I know after I say this, someone's going to be like, but you still let him hit. That don't mean nothing. If you love someone, you still going to let someone fuck. But why are you out here giving out shrimp dick? You are willingly going around giving out shrimp dick and trying to make babies. For what? What do you gain out of that? What do you gain? I don't understand. So yeah, so me and her was just conversing about like basically the whole situation, and then she told me that he's going to jail, and I was just like, oh, what are you going to jail for? So I'm going to blur out the article link, because I don't need y'all looking up this article and trying to put two and two together about who this guy is. But after I read the article, a lot of things started clicking in my mind, because his fiance told me that she worked with pharmaceutical, and what they're possibly going to jail for is pharmaceutical based. And it's just like, so you're not really making 6 figures, you're scamming 6 figures, you are hustling 6 figures. But you know, okay, all right. So I mean, karma's a bitch. Like, I don't wish harm on nobody, and I said in the first video, I said, I hope you're doing fine. I hope you're doing fine, sir. But look at you, out here looking stupid, goofy, stupid. What they say, stupid, goofy. But yeah, that's pretty much the second part of my boyfriend that had a fiance. He's a dirty little whore, a dirty little slut. Like I said, comment down in the comment section and let me know what Virgo sign you thought he was, if I didn't tell you what it was. If you had a similar situation like this, let's talk about it in the comment section. You know I like the tea. I like me some tea bags. And as always, I love you guys, and I will catch you guys in my next video. Bye.